So from my opinion, I would say it linking in with their interests, bringing as well that story to life through props, accents, allowing them to maybe dress up as that character, enabling them to really kind of feel they are a part of that story, because then that is when their imagination can really come into that story and they can take it further.
To make it fun, to really, you as the adult, to really enjoy reading the story, that enjoyment is contagious. So if you make it fun, they'll want to be part of that experience.
Absolutely. And even thinking about it not always having to be looking at a book, it can also be like going to the library and making that an experience, bringing in some of your own experiences from growing up and retelling a story of something that maybe has happened, enabling them to really get involved and be able to see themselves in the story as well. I think that's really important, have that sense of belonging. I think the most important thing to always to remember is that there should never be an expectation for a child to sit and to be reading for a long period of time. You want it to be the love of books, the love of the experience of reading, and thinking and adapting that to the individual child.
You can use audio stories. If you're in the car, it doesn't have to, again, be focusing on a book. You can use other ways of telling a story, hearing a story, using their imagination to make it fun, so that the next time you do pick up a book, they're more inclined to want to listen.
Yeah, we even spoke about even using things like photo albums and creating a story from looking at past photos and experiences to sort of re-jog that memory, that place, who was there. Just so many ways of which you can do it. It hasn't got to be sitting and expecting to sit and look at a book for a period of time. For me, I think we teach children how to use books to be purposeful. So, as an example, if a child is interested in a particular subject or wants to learn more about something, asks a question, it's teaching children that books can give us information. We can use a book to find the answer, and instilling that in children to be able to later on go and find the answer themselves and to develop that confidence to find that book, to use it for information, isn't it, and learning.
Yeah.
We spoke about an example around Lego, didn't we?
Yeah. How do they build the Lego character? You know, they follow those pictures in the book, and that's that first example for them, perhaps, of a book as a resource or as, you know, a helpful instruction. And also when you give a child a story and perhaps you retell a story, there's nothing wrong with retelling a story, but then stopping before the end and asking them what would happen if, what might happen next. That's around making predictions, which is your early problem solving. There has been some recent research from the University of York around mental imagery and how the comparison between reading a story and digital resources. So seeing a digital example of a story. When you're reading a story and there are no other distractions, your mind almost has no choice but to come up with what that might sound like, what that might feel like, what it might smell like. So that's your imagination working. When you're looking at a digital resource, both sides of your brain are not working, only one side, whereas opposed to reading. And when you've got a digital resource, it's more flat. All of that is done for you, so you are not using your imagination. How many times do we go to the cinema, see a film that we've read in a story, and, you know, the character is really disappointing. It's not what you thought it was going to be, because your imagination has been given that power to do its work.